Hello and welcome to the Aaron Roussos podcast. Today's going to be a short and sweet one. It's about kinesiology. I just wanted to touch base and just explain what kinesiology is. It's quite bizarro that the medical associations all around the world have made allowances and acceptances of kinesiology being I guess something. It's not covered under medical insurance and things like that, but they've allowed it to go on. Now the kinesiologist, what they're doing is it's quite remarkable actually when you think about it. Like, it's not something that you can believe in or not believe in. It's just core truth. It just is what it is. So you got a kinesiologist, and what they do is they muscle test. They communicate with something that it's you, but you don't know the you. Now the term is called innate. Doctors term that. It's a word that comes from the medical profession, and what happened is when things were happening in the hospital, where tissue was growing at accelerated rates, where healing was happening overnight, where the things that they couldn't explain, like spontaneous remission, they said something innately has taken over and done the work, or accelerated, or done it at a high speed, done the normal thing that it does, but at a very high rate. So these things are possible within us, which is fascinating in itself. But most of the world's asleep right now. We've got a bit of a sleeper syndrome going on, and it's only because when we're born, everything that we've done to each other has conditioned us away from who we are and who we have to help us and guide us to help us. So basically, the innate is you. They call it the superconscious. It's inside you. It is you. It knows everything about you. It knows every trauma, every knock on the head, every win, every joyous occasion. It's seen it all, and it knows it all, and it can recall it like it was yesterday. Unlike yourself, that if something traumatic happens, you try and block it out. So the innate is something that is within you that knows everything about you, and more than you know. It's you, so it's waiting for your instructions. That's right. The thing that you go to someone else to muscle test to tell you what's wrong with you inside of you is waiting for your instructions. That's how it all works. It's just that it's all gone a bit topsy-turvy, the whole, I guess, everything that we're about, that we're being conditioned to. So you go and you've got this innate, and so I guess my experience with the innate is one that is next level. So from the age of 5 to the age of 25, multiple times a year, without any warning, trigger, or, without doing anything in particular, I would just pass out. Not faint, because they did tests and obviously. So I spent many years, specialists all around the world, traveling a lot. My parents spent a lot of money. Obviously this is a concerning medical condition, and what's fascinating to me now with hindsight, looking back, is obviously that my, doctors at the time and then specialists all were trying to solve a puzzle, and that puzzle was my condition. And so, I would, on very, very occasional, I would get doctors that wanted to take this on board. They wanted to get to the bottom of it. They thought there was no drama and getting to the bottom of it. So after 20 years, $100 and something thousand, we no one got to the bottom of it. They couldn't put it down. They put it down to, at times they'd put it down to recreational drugs. At other times they'd, a lot of even the specialists were blown away. CAT scans, MRI, all sorts of stuff. Nothing was showing up. So a chance meeting. Now, there is no chance meetings. There's only synchronicities and this fluid energy that's floating around, and things are going to come in and leave your life according to what's going on with your energy. So anyway, I go out on a date with a girl at the age of 25, 26, and I pass out. She freaks out. I explain to her this is a condition that I've had all my life and we don't have to worry about it. We can go to the movies and she very hesitant goes to the movies with me. We get home quite late and her mum was still up, and I just met her mum this weekend. It's quite a new relationship, and it's a relationship that didn't last very long, and it's over now. So this girl takes me home. Her mum says, "Oh, come in this room with me." And she said, "Oh, I'm a kinesiologist." So she started asking my body questions, and obviously kinesiologists have a chart, and they can, ask questions over a very broad, section of your life, and then hone down using these charts. And so she was asking my innate me that knows everything about traumas, and obviously there was a trauma, or multiple traumas that had happened before I could even remember, from a very, very early age, that had affected my primitive brain, my little primitive brain, so much that I didn't want to think about it anymore, and it was causing this very serious condition for 20 years. The quality of life was pretty low. I was wrapped in, tissue paper a bit. They were like, "Oh, our poor little boy." And so a half an hour session with a kinesiologist where she found out that there were some traumas there. She asked my name, my body. She asked if I could clear those traumas, because I don't have the recollection or the knowledge or the thing to do it myself, but I definitely would like some assistance in clearing it. We cleared it. I've never passed out since. Never had a problem since. So how many other health conditions are there out there that don't have an answer, that have some trauma connected to it? Do you know what I mean? This is such a profound thing medically for all of humanity to not take it on board or investigate it further or sort of get down to the thing. Then we need to start asking some questions, and obviously no one's going to ask the questions if you're not sick. Yeah, we don't go out of our way to find solutions to problems that are not there yet. But the people that are sick, and there are a lot of them, such a simple thing could help them. So the innate, which is you, which is waiting for instructions of you, is part of your, multi-dimensional team. We come in with an entourage, and there's lots of stuff. The problem is as well, there's so much stuff out there across, whether it be social media, online, people gossiping. There's so much stuff out there that we don't know, what the truth is. The truth's available, but we've been conditioned away from that, so we need to drop that structure in the box that we're in. We need to be open and receptive to receiving it, and then we need to start the process of building that connection again to who we are, and then we can put filters on things to work out whether it's, whether it works out. It's what's called awareness or consciousness. So when we rise in consciousness, we rise in awareness, we rise in core truth, and then basically we don't even. It's not a logical knowing, it's a spiritual knowing, it's a soul knowing. It's It's not like something logically has to be worked out with your brain. It's like looking at a huge body of work and then going, all right, basically I have a knowing now. I know what the creative energy, how it works, how it operates, and what it's like at its core. So I know that energy is benevolent, joyous, compassionate, loving, and therefore if something comes in and then it's referenced to that creative source, I can say, well, hang on a minute, that's not benevolent, loving, joyous, and compassion. So therefore, this isn't true. This is not part of the creative source's business. So the more you rise in consciousness, the more all these things become aware, and the more you start becoming a master. Now, you might have heard of ascended masters, or, Jesus was a master. He came here and he mastered earth. He mastered matter. He mastered the whole thing of what we're all about here. Yeah. And he always said, everyone has the same abilities, so it's not just defined, confined, but to him, he wasn't in any way different or special to anyone else. So that in itself, with kinesiology, the innate is such a remarkable thing. It can be seen by medicine science. It can be measured. We just don't know how it works. I do, but we don't as a collective. And we hopefully will one day, because, look at the way it changed my life. And that was just one of these awakenings. So that's all I wanted to talk about with kinesiology. Take a look into it. I've been back post and I had another problem with something that was making me emotional when it popped up. I went back to a kinesiologist and we found out that was related to something when I was, my innate told me that it was when I was 13 years old and 7 months. That's how it can hone down these traumas to when it happened. It can then, through these set of questions to your innate that cover different areas, we then could hone down and look at it and see that it was a bit of an abandonment trauma issue problem. Then we can address it and clear it and move on. Quite fascinating stuff. I'm just I guess, this has been going, that was a long time ago. And I'm just wondering how many medical conditions could be helped there, because there is an answer to everything. You can find the answer to everything. It just might take time and effort. So we'll get there. So kinesiology, check it out, investigate it a bit more. Beautiful. Have a great day, night, wherever you are. Compassion and kindness.